I had always believed in my marriage to Claire. We had been together for over a decade, built a home, raised a child, and shared countless memories. From the outside, everything seemed perfect. But over time, subtle signs began to nag at me. Late nights, evasive answers about her whereabouts, and secretive phone habits. I tried to convince myself it was just work stress, but deep down, I sensed something was wrong. The truth hit me like a thunderbolt one evening. Claire sat me down, her face filled with a strange mix of guilt and entitlement. She confessed that she had been cheating on me for months, but it wasn't just that. She wanted to open our marriage and claiming it would make her happy and fulfilled. She expected me to accept this audacious request, as if her betrayal could be justified by some philosophical argument about freedom and personal happiness. Shock, disbelief, and fury surged through me. I couldn't believe she could casually ask for an open marriage after betraying our vows. For a moment, I was speechless, unable to comprehend the depth of her deception. But then a cold clarity settled over me. I realized that the most powerful response would not be anger or impulsive confrontation. It would be calculated, decisive, and irreversible. I began by quietly documenting everything. Messages, photos, emails, and timestamps of her secret meetings were meticulously collected. I knew that if I ever needed to take legal action, the evidence had to be undeniable. Every detail mattered: the depth of her deceit, the duration of the affair, and her audacious attempt to justify it. Over the next few days, I pretended everything was normal. Claire continued her routine, oblivious to the fact that I knew everything. She assumed I would accept her proposition, or at least discuss it. She had no idea that I was preparing a response that would reclaim control of my life completely. I filed for divorce immediately. The legal process was straightforward, because I had documented all evidence of her betrayal. Custody arrangements for our child were prioritized to ensure stability and continuity. Financial settlements reflected both the emotional and practical consequences of her deception. Claire had gambled with trust, marriage, and family, and she had lost. But my revenge didn't stop at legal action. I took a step that left Claire powerless. I cut her out of my life entirely. I stopped responding to calls, texts, or messages. I moved out with our child, establishing a new routine and environment free from manipulation or deception. By disappearing from her life, I delivered a consequence that she could neither control nor reverse. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding stability for our child and myself. Routine, emotional security, and support from friends and family became my priorities. Claire, meanwhile, had to face the full consequences of her actions. Her audacious request for an open marriage after cheating had backfired completely, leaving her isolated and accountable. Reflecting on the situation, I realized that true revenge isn't about yelling or public humiliation. It's about timing, strategy, and reclaiming control. By uncovering her betrayal, documenting it meticulously, filing for divorce, and removing myself entirely, I ensured that the consequences were swift, undeniable, and permanent. Claire's actions had cost her our marriage, our home, and the influence she once had in my life. She had underestimated me. She assumed her infidelity and audacious demands could continue without repercussion. She was wrong. The betrayal reshaped our lives, and through careful, deliberate action, I reclaimed dignity, control, and the ability to build a future free from deception. In the end, this story is one of betrayal, sadness, and calculated revenge. A marriage shattered by deceit, a life reclaimed through decisive action, and a lesson learned. Betrayal has consequences, and some actions cannot be forgiven or forgotten. By taking control, I not only protected myself and my child, but also sent a clear message that trust, once broken, demands accountability.